Good afternoon, everyone. I'll invite you to come and gather a little closer so you can hear all of our speakers today. Welcome to Pride here in Reading. I'm Reverend Amelia Attridge. My pronouns are she, her. I am a proud queer member of the Reading clergy and Reading community, and I'd like to open us up today with an invocation. So I'll invite you to be in a spirit of reflection, and I want to teach you a song. Last year I taught this, so maybe you might remember it. This song is written by community activists and really, truly in the spirit of pride. So I'm going to sing a line and you can repeat after me. I'm gonna lift my sibling up. I'm gonna lift my sibling up. They are not heavy. They are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sibling up. I'm gonna lift my sibling up. They are not heavy. They are not heavy. If I don't lift them up, we're gonna do that 3 times. If I don't lift them up, they will fall down. So the song is written in the spirit of we must do this together. We must be in the spirit of liberation together. So let's sing that all together. I'm gonna lift my sibling up. They are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sibling up. They are not heavy. I'm gonna lift my sibling up. They are not heavy. If I don't lift them up, if I don't lift them up, if I don't lift them up, they will fall down. I'll invite you to be in a spirit of prayer, reflection, or meditation for however that looks for you. God of many names, pathways, and traditions, we are grateful to be in community today, to be reminded that liberation exists in mutuality, that love exists in community. Help us be reminded of the community here today, here in Reading, as we gather together to celebrate that spirit of love and liberation. We give thanks for all of the people who have showed up today and in the past, and we commit to showing up in the future. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Amelia, for that. Welcome to Reading's 6th Annual Pride Parade and Celebration. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Laura Wilson, and I am the chairperson of the Pop Huddle, which is the host of the Reading Pride Parade and Celebration for 6 years. And I'm so thankful for everyone coming out, even though it was kind of a gray, scary day. I appreciate you all coming. I hope you've been enjoying our Total Entertainment Bubble people and Tree Brock in the back with the face painting and mask making over here with Coraline. And DJ Jazzy Jacob, of course, spinning some tunes behind me. So I hope you've been enjoying all that. And of course, I hope you enjoyed the unapologetic joy of the Pride Parade as it went by a few minutes ago. Yes. I'm going to introduce our first speaker, Helena Johnson. Helena Johnson is a 13-year resident of Reading. She's a wife, a mom, a town meeting member, and the very first Pride Parade celebration speaker back in 2021 when COVID was still a thing and car parades were all the rage. We started out then, and she was our first speaker then, and she's back again. Welcome, Helena.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming out today. This poem is called Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. Mary was a lesbian and a poet who grew up in Ohio. Sadly, she had an abusive childhood. So growing up, she would often run into the woods to seek refuge and solstice. Her poems, you'll see a lot of themes of the spirituality of nature. Later, she moved to Provincetown, Massachusetts, with her lifelong partner, the late Molly Cook. Mary passed away as well in 2019. However, I think she would be very happy that we are sharing her poem here today at Reading Pride. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. So Mary puts things into perspective for us. What are the messages? Mary says you don't have to be good, walk on your knees for 100 miles repenting. She's saying you don't have to be perfect or the ideal person in society, whatever that means. The second message, she says you only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Message, be yourself, accept who you are and how you feel. Your feelings are valid. Message 3, announcing your place in the family of things. In other words, you belong here. You belong in Reading. You belong in Massachusetts. You belong in the United States of America. You belong on planet Earth. My father, a retired minister who unfortunately could not be here today because of health issues, but I wanted to share the most important thing that I learned from him. At the end of each church service, he would hold up his hand and say, "Go out into the world as a loving and a healing force, both now and always." So love yourself, love others, and honk like a goose because you belong.
Thanks, Helena. I hope everyone had a moment today to notice all of the signs that are hung around the common today. We have this tradition at the Pride Parade where we ask all organizations, businesses, clubs, teams to sign a statement of support for the Pride Parade and for the Pride Month in general. And these are all the organizations that signed off for that. There are businesses like Whiteland Books, there are sports organizations like Saturday Night Lights, and every single PTO in all of the Reading schools, all 8 schools, have signed. So the good news was this year that we had over 100 different organizations sign, which was amazing, and a big jump up from last year, so that was awesome. The bad news is we don't have enough room in the common to hang them all, so we did have to start putting multiple organizations on a single poster this year, which was a great problem to have. We also have the garland. If you haven't added your link to it today, please do. If you didn't sign the form online, you can see each of these links in this rainbow chain that goes all the way around. They all have names of people, of individual families or people who have signed their support for Pride. So that was a nice addition to see. We did it last year, but it rained, so we couldn't hang it up. Okay. Taylor Gregory is our next speaker. Taylor Gregory has lived in Reading for 6 years. They are a member of town meeting and the ACE Committee, which is the committee working on a way to commemorate Bill Russell, who was a former Reading resident, as well as basketball icon, social justice activist. And they are also editor of the Reading Observer, a fantastic local news source. So you should check that out. And welcome to Taylor.
Thanks, Laura. Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Gregory.
Close to your face.
For those who don't know me, I am non-binary, I am trans, I am bi, I use they, them pronouns. Today I want to talk about why representation matters. Not just for myself and my personal experiences, but for others who see themselves reflected, so that others see themselves reflected and accepted in the world around them, and to feel less alone. I grew up in the 2000s, where being anything but straight was frowned upon, and I often felt like I was the odd one out for one reason or another. I realized in middle school that I was bi and began questioning my gender, wearing boys' basketball shorts and absolutely hating dresses. I wasn't like the other girls in my grade, but I wasn't one of the boys either. I found a group of nerds, mostly boys, who cared more about the conversations we had and challenging each other academically, rather than who we had a crush on. Then I got to high school and I found a sport that I loved, Ultimate Frisbee. At the time, I was the only girl playing on the boys' Ultimate Frisbee team at my high school. That sport introduced me to some of the weirdest and most accepting people I've ever met. And for the first time, I started seeing pieces of myself in other people. I played on a regional mixed gender team that introduced me to kids from across the country who loved the game as much as I did. I started college at Worcester Polytechnic Institute in 2013, where I found a more diverse group of people and continued playing Ultimate for a few more years. I met more LGBTQ plus people from different walks of life, each at their own point in their journeys of self-expression. It wasn't until I graduated that I felt confident enough to change my style. I used to have long hair, shoulder length hair, and then I cut it all off. I cut it off and I just kept cutting it shorter. And then during October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I would dye it pink for 7 years. And it worked for a while. During the pandemic, I had a lot of time to sit and think with myself and really think. That's when I began questioning my gender. I knew I wasn't female, but I wasn't quite male either. After 2 more years, I realized I was non-binary. And a few more years later, I decided to change my name. Today, I feel more like the person I want to be, not the person who I was expected to be. The one who was supposed to fit neatly into a female box and meet everyone else's expectations. I'm so incredibly grateful to have a loving and supportive spouse in Andrew. He has given me the space to explore my identity and fully be myself, and he has accepted me every step of the way, even when it seems to come out of nowhere. In 2023, there was a book challenge here in Reading over a graphic novel, Genderqueer, and that was the first time I read that book. And all I could think was, damn, I wish I had this book when I was 11. Because it would have made me feel so much less alone. Because I saw myself in that story. And I saw the other people who have these same thoughts and feelings. I choose to live my life openly and freely because I want to be the example that I never had growing up. I want to be a resource for my friends, for their kids, someone they can ask if they have questions. I hope I can encourage families to be more accepting of their loved ones who may be LGBTQ+, who use different pronouns or may have changed their name. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be an honest effort and a willingness to grow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Taylor. Tradition we have here is the person who gives one of the speeches gets the proclamation by the select board. Thank you so much, Taylor, for speaking to us today. Thank you. Okay. The next person I'd like to introduce you to is another Reading resident, Asher Carnahan. Where are they? Coming in clutch from the back. Okay. They're going to present our prizes today. So hold on. They're coming. I don't know where you're going. There's your mic, and there's the prize. I'll take your prize. Thank you. There you go. All right. Nice and close to your face. Really get it in there.
Hi, I'm Ash, and I'm giving out the prizes. So the award for the best cheering station goes to the Sullivans. And the award for the best car goes to the Gregories. Thank you all.
Thanks, Ash. Okay, great. Thank you, Ash. All right, couple quick thank yous. Face painting's gonna continue, and the yard games are going, and swag. There's tons of free popcorn, cotton candy, water. Please don't make me take all that home. I will eat it all. And then there's also face painting still going on. Please add your name to the rainbow garland if you haven't yet. And Pride stickers and signs are up here, $1 for stickers and $12 for the signs. All the proceeds go to the next year's Pride Parade. Please sign up to get our newsletter if you haven't done that, and share pictures with the Pop Huddle, please, of this event. There is one of those frames over there by the swag table. If you want to, put your face in, and they've got little captions and stuff like that. If you want to get a picture of that and post it on social media, please share it with us. I want to thank a couple people really quickly, the Reading Cultural Council for their generous grant, and all the Reading residents who donated. Thank you to the RPD, DPW, Town Reading staff, the Office of Equity and Social Justice for all their support, and yay. And the event does take a lot of work. I could never do it all alone, so I want to thank all the volunteers who have helped me all the way through from a couple of months ago when we start up until today in this very minute when we're going to have to close up and everything. So thank you all so much. Happy Pride.